The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
From Hollywood, California, by way of the Broken Skull Ranch, this is the Steve Austin Show.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, here's Steve Austin.
All right, everybody, welcome to Steve Austin Show. I am coming to you from the mean streets of Los Angeles, California today. Sitting over here at 317 Gimmick Street, twiddling my thumbs, waiting on my wife to get home so we can have a conversation and shoot the breeze. That's right. My illustrious wife, Kristin, is my guest on today's podcast, and we're going to bring you guys up to speed with all the little BS details that are going on in our life. And one of the big things going on in my life right now is getting ready to pack up my bag of tricks, roll up my cords, put all my recording stuff in my backpack, and haul ass down there to New Orleans, Louisiana, and get ready for WrestleMania 34, where I'm not going to be at WrestleMania 34, but I will be at WrestleCon, making an appearance on Saturday, April 7th, and Sunday, April the 8th, I guess from about 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I've been looking at the list of people there and try to round up a couple of them, record some podcasts. Hell, I just got off the phone with the one and only Bill Watts. And I tell you what, maybe I'm going to hook up with Bill and get a chance to record a podcast. At the very least, we're going to say hi to each other once we get there. Man, I tell you, growing up in the mid-'80s and watching pro wrestling, it's like I've said many times before when people ask me what my favorite promotion was, man, I got to go Mid-South. And NWA's right behind that or right up there in that same ranks with it. But man, there's something about Bill Watts' territory when they was running Tulsa and all. I mean, that was a big-ass territory. Those guys were traveling some miles back in the day, and they had a hellacious stacked locker room with lots of talented guys that were drawing money and contributing to the program. And it seems like, Bill Watts always ran a tight ship. Great creative. Jim Ross obviously there doing the bulk of the announcing, and when they put Michael P.S. Hayes on color commentary, I just thought it was just phenomenal. And just the action, the ring, the storyline, and it goes back to being in the mid-'80s and going back to an age when, damn near wrestling was a shoot back then. You really thought it was real. And don't get me wrong, I had a blast doing the stuff that I did in, the early 90s going into, the mid-90s and the Attitude Era, and then when I wrapped up in about 2003. But just as a fan of the business, going back to those days when I kind of thought it was a real actual sport, the Mid-South territory was a real bright spot as far as watching wrestling. And then obviously that stuff, man, I always say, mid-'80s NWA was awesome as well. And, World Class when I got there was kind of on a decline, but, that was a great territory. And obviously that's where I started, where Jerry Jarrett bought that territory from Fritz Von Erich. And my first year in the business was really, the back end of 1989 and going into 1990 when I would win the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Rookie of the Year. It might be a work, it might be a shoot, but due to a high-profile program with my mentor and trainer, gentleman Chris Adams, that propelled me to win the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Rookie of the Year, and it was really cool. I still have that very plaque that Bill Apter presented to me a long time ago, well, in 1990. That's a long-ass time ago. It is scratched up. It is beaten up. It has been all over the place from the times I've moved all the way down to South Texas, over here to California, now in Nevada. So that damn thing has been with me, and it'll be with me until I kick the bucket. I'm real proud of that award. And, some of that stuff is a bunch of bullshit, but I'm proud of that damn award. But anyway, hell, I got off a little sidetrack talking about Bill Watts in Mid-South territory. I'm looking forward to going down there and seeing who I brush up against. I've been getting a lot of voicemails, people wanting to hook up and connect. Probably going to see DDP down there, Kevin Nash, some of my, people that I really keep in touch with. But I'm looking forward to kind of meeting some of the people that I've watched over the years and never really got a chance to meet. Because, god dang, there's going to be about 200 people there. And yesterday I spent, give or take, about 6 hours in a hotel room right down the road from my house in Marina Del Rey, signing a lot of the stuff that needed to be signed before the event, because if we did it during the event, we wouldn't have enough time to take care of everybody that wants to take pictures and do all that stuff. So, man, I tell you what, I asked the guy, I said, how much time do you need? And or how much time do you think this is going to take? And he goes, we ought to be able to get it done in 2 hours. And I was thinking to myself, man, 2 hours, that doesn't sound like a very long time. And I've been to some things where, man, you're in there for a long-ass time. And I haven't done any appearances. I haven't done any signings in 10 to 15 years. So anyway, I get in there, and it's organized just like a laboratory. Total organization. Everything was stacked very neat. Guy pulling stuff out from under my hand when I signed the signature on it. And, man, I tell you what, after about midway point, I drank a protein shake and just kept signing my damn name. That's what you do. And God dang, my wife keeps sending me text messages, and she's saying, when are you going to be done? When are you going to get home? What's taking so long? My wife just walked in the room. She's going to join me here on the podcast. But hell, ended up taking about 7 hours to sign everything that we needed to sign. And I told my wife, I said, the club that we usually go to get our margaritas is closed on Tuesdays. It's closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. So I said, we got to go somewhere because after signing my damn name for 7 hours, I need to get a margarita and a cheeseburger. So I picked her ass up once I got done. We stopped, got a couple of margaritas and a cheeseburger, and then came back to the house, and I'm packing up my bag of tricks. And I'm getting ready to head down there to WrestleCon, and I don't know when I'm going to make another appearance. So, man, if you want to come down, if you're making a trip from wherever you're coming down, I will be there on the 7th and 8th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Hang on, Callie. I'm trying to cut a podcast over here. I'll be there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. both days, and if there's any stragglers, we'll probably be there for a little bit. I'm looking forward to watching WrestleMania afterwards. I'll be watching it on my computer on the WWE Network, probably in the confines of my room. Anyway, let me cut this damn open off. I'm going to come back. Callie, you're killing me.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
All right, everybody, welcome to Steve Austin Show. I'm sitting here across the podcast table from my wonderful, lovely, illustrious wife, Kristin. Kristin, welcome to the Steve Austin Show. I'm proud to have you on here.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Boy, something's up. Do you need to borrow some money? You don't never call me sweetheart.
Well, I just listened to a voicemail from my mom. It was pretty cute. She apparently called the wrong number, and a guy answered. And instead of thinking she got the wrong number, she said, "Hi, sweetheart." And the guy said, "Well, I think you have the wrong number." She said, but he said, "Thanks for calling me sweetheart." It was kind of cute. So I thought,
she didn't know the difference between a man's voice and your voice?
Apparently not.
Anyway, sweetheart. Hey, man, let's start off the podcast. I was actually going to break down or give a preview and my predictions for the storylines heading into the biggest show of the year for WWE, WrestleMania 34, which happens this Sunday on April the 8th in New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, I'm going to be in New Orleans, Louisiana on April 7th and 8th at the WrestleCon convention, signing autographs and taking pictures. And yesterday, I spent about 7 hours at the Marriott Hotel signing stuff, and they documented it all, and it was, Jesus Christ, that was unbelievable because I told you.
Well, you said I'll be gone 2 hours, and the next thing I know.
That's what the dude told me. I said, hey, man, how long is this going to take? Because I didn't know how much stuff he had. He says 2 hours. I said, cool. I went down to the protein shake. All of a sudden, I'm looking around, and, the pile ain't really getting smaller, and they keep bringing more and more stuff. And anytime you see those stacks of pictures, it just looks like a stack of pictures that's about a foot and a half tall. Well, you start separating those things into the little bitty posters, and I'll put it down like this. There's a shit pile of them. And so I was signing my name, and Kristin starts texting me. Everything okay? How's it going? Still there? When are you coming home? Are you hungry? You want me to bring you food? And I'm like trying to, there's no cell phone reception, but I get the text because I'm dialed into the Wi-Fi. And I'm like, I ain't got time to text you back. I just sent you, okay, I'm good. Anyway, finally, I took a little bathroom break, and I called Chris, and I said, listen, we're going to have to go to the damn restaurant and get a margarita and a cheeseburger. I said, first of all, I'm starving because I only had a protein shake the whole damn day. And I wanted a margarita because for some reason, when you write Stone Cold Steve Austin all day long, 7 hours worth, it's kind of like, I'm over it.
How many signs, autographs did you do?
I think I did just about a little bit shy of 2,000, and that was just kind of the pre-orders and to take care of everybody, before they get there. And some people can't make the event, so they sign the stuff and they send it back to them. So, man, there was 4 people working in that room, and I was sitting there signing. So, you talk about a process. And they were extremely organized, and they did a really good job and all that stuff. So, anyway, I'm happy to be over it. But, hell, I'm looking forward to going down to New Orleans because when I was filming The Expendables, you liked going down there.
Yeah.
I filmed that movie. I was number 32 on the call sheet. And when you're 32 on the call sheet and it's a pretty long shoot, that means you got a lot of time on your hands. So you flew down there and we got a chance to walk around in the French Quarter, drink Bloody Marys. I was eating raw oysters. We're antique shopping. But that's a cool-ass city.
Yeah, it is.
And I never do autograph sessions. And really, one of the big reasons I did this year, because I love New Orleans so much. Well, I love the whole state of Louisiana. Because I've wrestled in every single medium to big-sized town in that state. And I played football against every single football team I got over there. And I just love the food. That was one of the reasons. And also, I just wanted to see a lot of the people that, I crossed paths with in my wrestling career. And a lot of people that I never got a chance to meet, but I watched what they did on, through, my whole entire life of watching pro wrestling. So I'm looking forward to going down there and just hanging out and, having a couple of cold ones and just kicking it. And I'll probably watch the event on my laptop. What were we going to say?
What about the Bloody Marys?
What?
They have great Bloody Marys down there.
Yeah, but the thing about the Bloody Marys is, we was talking about this a while ago. When you go down there and you go to some of these places that try to get too fancy with the Bloody Mary.
They put too much food in them.
Yeah, the celery stalk is cool and a couple olives. That's it. But when they start going, what's the other things they put
The
in?
shrimp and crawfish, meatloaf.
Oh, yeah, man. It looks like a damn zoo hanging out your drink or an aquarium.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get the odd shrimp or one of my wife's drink who's a vegetarian. Well, that shit don't fly.
No.
So like, hey, man, send this thing back. Or heaven forbid she take a sip of it. And then, so then she's going to get all queasy acting. But, the Bloody Mary, it's an easy drink to make and it's an easy drink to drink. But it's also an easy drink to screw up if you put too much shit in it.
Yeah.
So here's my words of wisdom to anybody at a bar or a restaurant serving Bloody Marys. Don't put too much shit in there. Keep it basic, keep it real, and make sure you got some good ingredients. That's the bottom line. And put a bunch of ice in there. You and me were somewhere the other day, and I knew the meal. I knew the experience was going to be the drizzling shits right from the get-go. When we ordered our iced tea, and they brought our iced tea.
Oh, yeah.
And there was about...
That was in Nevada.
In Nevada, yeah. And it was a 1/4 inch of ice on the top of our iced tea, and it was a 16-ounce tumbler. I was madder than a hornet. Oh, yeah, that's that city we went to.
Yeah.
Yeah, drinks are very specific. Anyway, I'm segueing off. I'm looking forward to going down there to New Orleans, Louisiana, 7th and 8th. I'll be at the WrestleCon convention. I'll start signing at 9 a.m., stop at about 3. Unless there's people hanging around, we'll keep signing. But anyway, that's the end of the story on that. And I was going to segue into the cat story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I've been talking about this on a podcast for a little bit. Me and Kristin have been noticing this black cat hanging around over here at 317 Gimmick Street for quite some time. And it was like, man, the cat had a collar on it. It looked, I just thought it belonged to a neighbor. And the cat would come over and visit every now and then. But then we started seeing it more and more.
Well, and we started feeding it more and more.
Yeah, because, you figured, man, the cat kind of looks hungry.
Yeah, I think so, too.
And you said, well, the cat, his collar kind of looks too tight.
Well, because I'm thinking, well, if we're feeding it, it's going to be gaining weight. So then the collar looked too tight.
Yeah, his neck's going to get all jacked up. He's going to strangle himself because we actually took, out of the goodness of our hearts, fed him. So we're feeding this cat, and then all of a sudden we keep seeing him. He's hanging around. It's like, you're wondering, does this cat have a house? Does it have an owner?
Yeah, so I started asking the neighbors, does anybody have a black cat? And nobody said they had a black cat. So then I thought, well, it's got to be abandoned then.
Yeah, so then you went one step further, placed an ad in the newspaper.
Yeah, that and then the Nextdoor app, I put a little note in there, but still nobody responded. And so we're like, well, I guess we have a new black cat.
I know. So we kept feeding the cat. We fed the cat for about 6 months. And it first started off as a very simple process. Kristin bought a stainless steel feeding dish and some dry food. So I'd go, whether it was Kristin or myself, just go over there with a handful of dry food and drop it in at night. But then, because we're such animal people, we're dog lovers, but we like animals. She had to get the wet food. So, hell, man, you'd be over here cracking
Fancy
a can
face.
of the wet food over, dumping that thing in and putting the dry food on top of that, and the cat was in cat heaven.
Yep.
And so we just figured, man, I guess we got a cat now.
And then I bought it a house.
Bought it a little gimmick house, bought it something to scratch on.
Yeah.
And then you
Catnip.
You bought it some catnip. Man, I thought that was a work.
No.
Hey, that damn cat ate the shit out of that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So anyway, but the thing had a collar on it. And you figured, man, we got to get this thing to the vet because it's going to strangle itself.
Well, after we decided it's basically our cat now because it hasn't left the yard, we better get it to the vet. It probably needs shots, and maybe the collar's too tight.
I thought it had the mange.
Yeah, the hair was kind of thinning. So, we put all these things in our head thinking, we're making this stuff up about it so we can qualify why we have a new cat. So anyway, I decided to have a heart trap.
She's going to have a heart trap so you could catch the cat and take it to a vet around the corner. It's like 4 blocks from our house. And so, man, we just want to go buy a trap for $40, whatever they cost.
It was $52, actually.
$52, and you just catch one cat and then retire the trap.
Well, and then I couldn't find any traps. I had to go to Amazon to buy one because the pet stores don't carry them right
I know, but the point is you asked around the neighborhood, and our neighbor across the street knew somebody who trapped like rodents and stuff.
Yeah, but he used to trap feral cats in there. That's what he said anyway. But I don't know how a cat would even get in it.
He brought over this little rectangular trap, and that damn thing was so small. I mean, a rat could get in there, a squirrel could get in there, but a cat,
no.
A little bit of a stretch. And this is a leery cat that has been out in the wild. And we figure we guess to be 5 years old.
Yeah.
He's pretty savvy.
But he would never let us get close to him, so that's why we had to buy the trap.
So Kristin gets on Amazon, and Jesus Christ, I mean, that's the only way you shop these days.
I love Amazon, yeah.
What makes me mad about Amazon, I dig how they deliver, but if I can't pay no taxes on all that stuff, don't let me get started.
Yeah, go back to the cat.
Yeah, so I'll go back to the cat. But, and Jesus Christ, everything's on Amazon. It's easy to shop. So all of a sudden, here comes the Have a Heart trap through Amazon. I unbox it. It's like when John Travolta or Samuel L. Jackson opened up the briefcase in Pulp Fiction and started shining that gold.
Yeah.
So there was the Have a Heart trap. The only thing was left to do was go out there and set it and try to capture the cat. But there's some strategy involved, Kristin. Break out the strategy so we don't spook the cat.
Well, I read online that you should first put it outside so the cat gets used to it being in its yard. So we set it out there for a few days, and then we put a towel over it to make it look like it was more homey. And then it said, don't feed the cat for a while. I didn't feed it for 2 days. I wasn't going to starve the poor thing to get him in the trap. So I didn't feed him for 2 days, and then I went to the store and I found this delicious piece of tuna loin.
What is a tuna loin? Where is the loin on a tuna?
I have no idea, but it looked good.
Like when Sheriff Buford T. Justice said, there's no way you could have come from my loins. So I don't know where the loin is on a tuna.
I don't either, but it looked good.
It did. So
and it was $2.99.
I love the price.
So I put the tuna loin inside the trap and watched the cat for hours.
Hey, Kristin, she's peering through the bushes. And I was like, I wonder where we're going to catch the cat. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you just set the thing 10 minutes ago. It ain't like he's going to go jump in there. He's leery. You placed an object. The trap has been in the driveway for 2 days. He's still getting used to it.
Yeah, I know.
So I understand the fact that you got to acclimate him and you just want to, hey, it's like you've walked in the house before and seen something that wasn't supposed to be there before.
Right.
It scares the shit out of you. So the same thing with the cat.
Well, and this cat was pretty leery too.
Yeah, he was pretty smart. But anyway, go ahead with the story.
So for hours it goes by, he's just staring at the trap.
Sitting right by.
Right next to it. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go get some dry food and put a trail leading into the trap.
It's like, the cat, he's pretty smart, but it's almost like telling a dummy, come on in. Come on in. That's what we're doing. So she laid down the invitation in a strip of cat food.
Yeah. So lo and behold, I go back to our house, peer through the bushes for another couple hours, and go back in, and you were doing something. So then I thought, well, I'll just go right back out and check. He looks like he's really, really close to it. And sure enough, he's inside. I could not believe it. So I ran back to get you because I got nervous. I'm like, I feel so bad. The cat's inside this damn trap. We got to take it to the vet now.
There's two things were going on. She was extremely excited we caught the cat because now we can get the cat to the vet to get the medical attention we think it so needs.
Right.
The collar's too tight. It's dying of the mange and rabies and everything else. And she also is worried about the duress that the cat can't get out of the trap because the little door shut.
Right.
He's trapped in there, so he's a little panicked. Well, at least we had the towel on top of the trap. I grabbed the handle, open up the SUV. Yeah, man. I'm like, I ain't open to have a heart trap. Somebody's going to scratch out my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And Kristin had called the vet, which is 4 blocks away, and said, hey, man, we got this cat, we'd like to bring it in, blah, blah, blah. It was one of those cases where the vet was really close. They were wide open, which is very rare here in the streets of Los Angeles. And they were super friendly. And
they're very nice.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
So we take the cat in there. Is that the cat? Yep, here's the cat.
And here we're thinking they're going to have to drug it to get...
Yeah, I mean, you guys, I'm sitting there telling them how to do it. Like, if I'm about to have a wrestling match with this cat, probably got to put some tranquilizers in it. To get that collar off, you don't get scratched.
Maybe surgery.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell them what to do. It's like, dude, shut the F up. It's kind of what we do here. This ain't a pro wrestling ring. So they went back there and we're
Next
waiting.
thing we know, here comes the collar.
Yeah. And so here comes the collar, and it's like, well, was it really tight? No, it was fine. Well, does the cat have mange? No.
Just fleas.
Just a couple of fleas. We gave it a tablet or whatever they gave for it. And so we're going to do some other things, and then we'll put it in a kennel, and we'll bring it out to you. And there's Kristin. I can see her gears spinning in her head as she's holding that little collar. Because on that collar is a tag. And on that tag is a phone number. What was going through your mind?
Well, I was thinking, if I dial this phone number, it's going to be the person that allegedly abandoned this cat. And you just don't know who you're going to get on the other line. It could be some crazy person. Maybe someone doesn't want the cat. So I thought, well, everybody's staring at me in the vet office. I got to call this number.
Well, I mean, and that's why they put the number on to begin with. But to your point, man, because in South Texas, you've rescued so many dogs. I mean, it would.
People would get mad at me.
I would say I would be perplexed rather than angered, because it was your passion for animals. Like if we saw a dog on the side of the road, we'd take a damn thing to the ranch, start calling around. Well, it belonged to a ranch right down the road. That's just the way the animals are over there. But also, we've seen so many dogs abandoned.
Right.
And our trips back and forth to Texas, we just hate to see one like that. And then when you call them numbers, be like, okay, this is the alleged dirtbag that not taking care of the cat like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But anyway, the story takes a twist. So there you are. You got the number, and you decide to call.
I decided to call, and she picks up. It was a she. And I said, well, I'm calling because I have a collar with your phone number on it that, I just discovered a cat was wearing it and thought I'd give it a call. And there was silence on the other end for about 3 seconds. And she said, you have my cat? I said, yeah, I have him in a kennel right now. She said, you got to be kidding me. I said, no, I have him. She said, he's been missing. And I always thought it was a girl, but yeah, he's been missing since October 28, 2016. I said, what? I said, I've only been caring for him about 6 months, so I don't know what happened to him for the last year and a half. I said, well, do you want to come get him? And she said, yeah, we live in Sherman Oaks, which is 30 miles away. And so we're all sitting there on the phone thinking, how in the heck did that cat get over the hill on the 405 freeway and get to the marina? There's no way.
30 miles of concrete between here and there. And I'm wondering if he crawled up, because remember I told you at that time I started up the Ford Focus.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Teddy on the podcast, but I told you the story. That cat come boiling out of there.
Yeah.
And so he crawled up in the hood of that car just to get some shelter. And someone was telling me a story the other day. Well, your brother Mitch. A car had crawled. That's easy for me to say. Leave that in there, Sean. A cat had crawled up in his truck. And when he went home, the cat was in a new location because it stayed there. So, but 30 miles down to 405?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, she thinks because, it's during Halloween, perhaps maybe somebody kidnapped a black cat for some strange reason.
Y'all were floating that theory around, but that one didn't hold water with me. I don't think anybody would just jack some cat off the street as a rib to bring a black cat to a party because it's Halloween.
Well, I don't know. It's very strange that it ended up 30 miles away from its home.
But anyway, that lady, I was sitting there watching her make a call. I was like, man, she was like, you what? I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And so we thought the lady was going to wait for like a couple hours, because it was rush hour traffic, and she was coming from Sherman Oaks. And that is, when it's rush hour here and you're going from there to here, it is an absolute cluster muck.
Right.
And man, all of a sudden we're figuring she's going to be here like 7, 8. 1 hour later, Kristin says, I'm going to go check on the cat. I said, well, I'll go with you. And the lady had just sent a text. She was already there. So I'm going over to put my flip-flops on and put some clothes on and go over there and check it out. And y'all were walking up to the door, and we had brought the cat in the kennel over here to 317 Gimmick Street. And the two girls, they were extremely nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm thinking this girl, maybe you called the number, and now she's just over to get a free cat. Or, the cat's going to scratch your eyes out because
I kept on telling her,
remember.
I said, this woman was very excited on the other end. I'm feeling very confident about this,
So what happened when you guys came in? Because I was trailing right behind.
She came in and immediately opened up the kennel, grabbed the cat. And I was nervous because I'm like, man, this thing's going to scratch the, F out of her. And so, no, she grabbed that cat and held it so tight. And it was a very tearful reunion, to say the least.
But first, because I was there when she pulled out of that damn box, and I was saying, man, this shit's going to get her ass scratched.
Yeah.
And then that cat, the cat was a little resistance. Give the cat's name.
Hamlet.
The cat's name was Hamlet. And this wasn't a Shakespearean tragedy. There was a happy ending.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, that girl grabbed on that cat, and I was thinking, man, she's going to get scratched. And that cat was almost like, he didn't know where to shit or wind his watch. He's like, is this really you? Is this really you? And it was. That girl had owned that cat for like 4 years, or 3.5, and it had been missed for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And they were like extremely tight. And all of a sudden that cat realized it was her. And cats are different than dogs. Yeah. And we're dog people.
Right.
But you could see there was a bond there. And man, that cat, it was a mess. It was a mess. Because after they left, when that girl got the cat home, she sent Kristin a couple of pictures because they had exchanged numbers and all that because Kristin called her, obviously. But she sent a couple of pictures of her holding that cat and that cat on like a chest of drawers and just hanging out
sitting
in the
on
house.
the TV stand.
Yeah, on a TV stand.
All over the house with the dogs. She's got dogs.
Yeah, but the one draped on her back where he just has his arms extended is just like that cat loved her and she loved that cat. And you can see, like, when I would look at the cat in the front yard here, it was just a cat that I figured was a neighborhood roamer.
Right.
And when I saw his eyes were like so big and blue and relaxed and content and happy.
It was a different cat.
Being at her house with, back with her owner, whole different animal.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing.
It was a great story, and it just made me feel so good to have reunited them. It just was.
Yeah, but that girl was so happy, and
she was so happy.
She walked dogs.
Yeah,
and she was an extreme animal lover. But it was a really cool story.
It was.
I was about to start crying. I wasn't, but it was cool, man.
I was pretty teary eyed.
So what I figured, man, we just get us like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Maybe you and me get a couple of business cards made up. When someone got a missing cat or missing dog, we'll go out and find them. Like we can almost bounty hunters and locators, and then we can trap. Now you get a whole string of have-a-heart traps. We'll go into business, Kristin.
We could.
We got a Yukon Denali XL. Plenty of room for have-a-heart traps back there. Riding all over the city, checking our trap lines. Almost like Mitch riding up there in Nevada.
Well, I did send Mitch a text. I said, I trapped my first animal.
But now, since you trapped the cat and got it back to its rightful owner,
right?
What I think would be a good thing to do would be for me to appoint you, the head of the trapping committee, down in Nevada on our property at the BSR 2.0 to catch that skunk and that muskrat, because the skunk is hanging out in the backyard and in the front yard, and he's going to spray one of these dogs.
Yes, he is.
And that one time that Hershey got sprayed and it burned her eyes and she smelled like shit for 6 weeks, I'd like to put you in charge of that skunk and that muskrat that's in the pond. And I'll relocate them, but you got to trap them.
I'll do it.
But see, now you have to read up on your skunk and your muskrat trapping techniques because, I don't know what the protocol is.
It's probably a whole different way because you can't withhold food, obviously, from a skunk or a muskrat.
You know what? I don't even know what skunks eat. But I tell you what, that's a big-ass skunk. Because that one time I went out there fumbling around with that stupid-ass 22 with fancy-ass, 3 magazines in one. I couldn't get the magazine to stick in there. I would have been a dead skunk.
Don't tell me how you're going to relocate it, please, because I may not trap it.
No. Believe me, I'll put a tarp over it, or I'll carry a big 10 by 10 tarp, and I'll walk up to the damn thing because I ain't getting squirted. I seen too many suckers get squirted by skunks, and I did my research on YouTube. And that is one thing that ain't going to happen to me. But I'll lasso that thing down with that tarp, pick his ass up, and get him off the property. But I got to figure out a way. I got to figure a way to tranquilize you. I got to open the door of that trap. Well, I'll save that for a whole nother podcast for a whole nother time.
But I want to say one thing about the cat, about Hamlet. He also was microchipped. So just a plug. It's a very good idea to microchip your pets.
Yeah, microchip your pets, and the cat also had a tag on with the phone number. But it was just, we couldn't get within 20 feet of that cat.
Right.
And we had fed it for 6 months. And then Kristin just finally said, man, we were just trapping it for the good of the cat.
Right.
Because we couldn't see the number on the
That's
tag.
amazing, the story behind it. So, yeah.
Yeah, but that girl was so happy.
Yeah.
And that cat was so happy.
The cat is so happy.
And here's the thing. When that cat was out here, and you bought that water dish for it, because you were amazed at how much water was drinking.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Because I didn't know cats drink water, really.
I don't know. Because you're thinking
we're
milk
dog
or
people.
Yeah. But when a cat goes from being in a very caring environment, and it was kind of like an indoor-outdoor cat.
He's currently an indoor cat now.
Yeah, he's an indoor cat now. But it's like, where do you get your water from when you're out on the main streets?
I don't know how this cat survived a whole year without any attention.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
So I give a swig a day. I'm going to drink tequila tonight. I'm going to swig
You are?
Yeah, I am. Just telling that story just made me want to drink. Basically, any story makes me want to drink. But god dang, it's getting up. It's starting to get late, and I'm cooking. I cook chicken thighs today. I had chicken thighs all day today for my meals, and I'm cooking salmon tonight. But god dang, my wife is as good a cook as you are. We've got to tell this brisket story.
Oh.
Because I was on a mission the other day, and I got on some good brisket. It was probably the best brisket I've had in the last 15 or 20 years. Maybe in my life. That's how good this brisket was.
Well, and you talked to the guy how he prepared it and everything.
Everything. I got the total 411, so I knew how to do this, but my wife being a cook.
Well, I was at Gelson's, and I was walking by the meat section, and there were all these briskets. I guess people make brisket for Easter or something. So I thought, I'm going to try to make brisket for my wonderful husband.
And the thing about it is, I mean, like when I was talking to the guy, he was talking about smoking this thing, and he had a big ass pit, and he puts it way away from the heat source, from the hot box. And he's running hickory or whatever combination of wood he's running. And he's using the heat within that chamber, but it's not direct heat.
Well, we just have that little tiny
I was using a little Traeger portable grill, which is wonderful for cooking my chicken and fish and stuff like that, because man, this stuff is done in anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. Like I was telling the guy that cooked his brisket, I'm so ADD, I ain't got 7 hours to tend to a brisket. And while it gets barked up in the cooking process, spritz it and squirt it with the concoction that he told me to put on that damn thing. So,
well, I got a small one. I figured it'd be a lot easier.
Well, I know, but so anyway, we put the damn brisket
3
on
pound.
Yeah, a 3 pound brisket.
That was going to shrink down to a pound.
Yeah, it wasn't really a brisket, it was a brick. So the brisket.
No, it was a brick, actually.
It was a brick. It turned into a brick. So we're out there. I'm squirting that little bastard down every hour. And finally, it gets time to take it off. And I go to cutting that damn thing up. And it's like cutting into a damn shoe. It wasn't worth a flying shit. And I tried to eat a couple of slices of it. I was like, God dang, this is the worst brisket I ever had in my life. This thing, I ain't going to be able to salvage this thing. And then Kristin got the big idea and started chopping it up with the ass.
I wasn't going to waste.
Yeah, but when she started chopping it up and making chopped brisket out of it, and because once you do that, all you do is just pour a bunch of barbecue sauce on top of it and you save it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything like the experience I'd had the day before. So I was like, mother effer, are you kidding me? We put all this time, 3 hours, into cooking this brisket. But the problem was, in that little pit, there's no room to put it away from the heat source.
No.
And so it's supposed to take a lot longer.
Well, we didn't know that until we did the second one.
So the next day, we get the big idea, since we F that one up, we'll try another one. We'll get a bigger one. And the pit hadn't grown any.
No, but we got a 6 pound brisket now.
Got a 6 pound brisket, Kristin.
With a little more marbling, because I thought.
A little bit more marbling. And so we go through the same process. That thing hit $1.60. I pulled it out, wrapped it up in foil.
Did everything.
Did the whole, everything that the guy told me to do, we did. And when it hit 200 degrees, I pulled it. And I let it rest for about an hour, and a half.
We put it in the dryer.
I told Kristin, because the dude, when he pulls his brisket off, he kind of puts his in like a cooler. He'll wrap it in some, like the butcher paper or whatever it is, and just sits it in the cooler.
Yeah.
He'll let it rest for 2 to 3 hours. And this is talking about, a regular sized brisket of about 14 pounds. And he always says, buy the best quality meat that you can. And we bought a good cut of meat, but didn't have enough marbling on it.
Right.
And we were cooking over direct heat source. But nonetheless, since Kristin had just torn up that styrofoam cooler the day before.
I'm so eager to get rid of stuff.
Yeah. I was like, man, you should have kept that damn cooler. So I'd already wrapped it in the foil. We put it in one of those baking pans, and Kristin had a load of laundry in the dryer. Why did you pick the dryer to put that sumbitch in?
I figured it's an insulated enclosed space. That's
kind of like a cooler.
Right.
So anyway, we put the brisket in
I didn't
the dryer.
turn the dryer on, though.
The tumble dry, please. So we put the brisket in the dryer. Yeah, I probably got an IQ of like 90. My wife's probably around 160. So we come up with the ingenious decision to put the brisket in the dryer. And after about an hour, when the bell went off.
Oh, clothes smell like brisket now.
Yeah, I walked into Gimmick Dope Shop, and the guy said, "Who's eating barbecue?"
You have a bunch of dogs chasing you.
Kristin smells like pot, and I smell like brisket. What a couple. Smelling the pot made me hungry. Eating the brisket filled my belly up. I'm a combination of both. Okay. So anyway, I start cutting in this sumbitch after we let it rest, after I pulled it out of the dryer. Kristin was folding the laundry. I was cutting the brisket, and this sumbitch was tougher to chew. So I chopped it up, poured barbecue sauce on it, and ate it the same goddamn way we did the first one. I was madder than a hornet. I'm so sick and tired of brisket. I had like a world-class brisket on one day, and 2 days in a row to totally shit the bed.
You said,
I'm boycotting brisket.
I'm so done with brisket now. I'm not going to be making it anytime soon.
We've been trying to get back to Nevada, and I got a big Traeger smoker over. That sumbitch is the big family size model. I don't know which model it is, but it's a big
huge.
Sumbitch. So we're going to get a regular size brisket.
Yeah.
And we're going to go through the whole process and protocol.
Yeah.
And I'm going to smoke that sumbitch for 7 hours. I mean, I don't remember anything. It's like I'll forget a high spot. Tackle, drop down, hip toss. What? But I remember verbatim the cooking instructions for this brisket. So when we get to Nevada, we will cook it something's right. And if it turns out great, that means I'll probably start entering barbecue contests, going all over the country. Yeah. I might as well get back on the road. I think taking bumps in a squared circle would be easier. Anyway, but the guy that I learned this from, he was like one of those competitive barbecue cookers. Yeah. And that sumbitch, I mean, you talk about a passion for cooking, and he knew his shit. But anyway, that's our what's that?
It's different passion for barbecue, passion for cooking, you know.
For over 25 years, BetOnline has been one of the most trusted names in online sports and casino gaming. And this year, it's all about soccer moments. As the world stops here, 48 nations and 104 matches. Every one of them is a decision that is yours to make. BetOnline has all the live lines and player props on everything sportsbook and casino through the whole tournament. No limits. And when you are right, you get paid. No ceilings, no excuses. 26 is your year for the soccer championship. Bet on at BetOnline.
What if the stories of gods, angels, and ancient technology weren't myths, but memories of alien contact? On Ancient Aliens, we investigate the evidence, from mysterious ruins to strange celestial alignments, asking bold questions about humanity's origins. Could visitors from the stars have influenced our greatest civilizations? Journey into the unknown and challenge what you think you know about history in episodes like Secrets of the Sumerians, Mysteries of the Maya, or The Chosen. We are not alone. Download Ancient Aliens every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
All right, continuing the conversation with my illustrious wife, Kristin, over here at 317 Gimmick Street. Man, I want to talk about something that is always hard for me to find, is something to watch on television. I'm extremely picky, as you are, but you watch all that subtitle stuff and read all the damn stuff like that, foreign movies, and that don't really work for me. But one thing we finally agreed upon the other day was a documentary called Wild Wild Country.
Well, you weren't going to watch it at first, though. I had to actually turn it on while you were sitting there on your computer, fiddling around. You don't believe me when I tell you something's good, and that somebody told me it was going to be good. A trusted, valued person that told me this is a great documentary.
Yeah, because we sit here and live in Los Angeles, 13 million people, and even though it's 13 million people, I'm a hermit. You actually have a social life. You go to Zumba, you go to the gym, you have this group of friends that you hang around with, so y'all actually have conversations. They can get some 411 to you. Me, I got my head in the sand over here trying to do a podcast, and it just sucks, being here in the city. That's why I want to get to Nevada more. We'll cover that in a little bit. But anyway, I'm real bad about picking something to watch because going way back in the day, I'll tell this story real quickly because I've told it before. But back in the day when that movie Dances with Wolves came out, I was like, that's the dumbest sounding name for a movie anywhere. I was like, who would want to watch that? Well, what's it about? Well, after I finally watched it years later, it became one of my favorite movies. I've probably seen Kevin Costner and Dancing with Wolves 10 times. So I'm bad about judging a documentary or a movie on its name. And like Wild Wild Country, I'm thinking, okay, wild horses, it's out in the West or something like that. Well, I'm on the Wikipedia page. It just says Wild Wild Country is a Netflix documentary series based on the controversial Indian guru Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh and the community Rajneeshpuram of his followers in Oregon. It was released on March 16, 2018. That's Wild Wild Country Wikipedia page. They started off over in India, and I guess they got some heat on them or whatever. They need to expand. And they bought 64,000 acres in Oregon. The guru dude, the Bhagwan, I didn't understand what the draw was because it's a very, very interesting documentary, and it's only like 6 episodes long. And Kristin started playing it, and I was like, man, what the F is this? And, of course, then I got roped in because, I was seeing what's up here. So I started tuning in, and then I folded up my laptop computer. So we watched it, one episode at a time till it finished.
Yeah.
I didn't see why the followers followed this bitch.
I don't either, but it was a very interesting docuseries. I really enjoyed it.
One of the things that they didn't really talk about, they didn't talk about no drugs.
Those people had to be on drugs.
Do what?
They had to be on drugs.
They had to be, because they were running around, skipping, happy, holding hands, jumping up and down in the
weird.
air.
It was weird.
And they all had that look on their face. I think they was tripping on LSD or something. And the thing about this was, one of the reasons I wanted to watch it, because first of all, it was an interesting subject, and it's a very good documentary, very well done. But it happened between, the stateside part of it happened between 1980 and 85. And that's, I graduated high school in 83, then went to college. So my mind was focused on the next step and playing football. So I wasn't paying attention to anything else.
Well, I don't know if it really made national headlines, though.
Well, it made statewide headlines over there. Yeah, it did make national headlines. I was just busy doing other things.
Yeah.
But because it was almost kind of like it was almost like a version of Jonestown.
Yeah.
But without the mass.
But then all those other weird factors that went into, like the bioterrorism and...
Oh, yeah, that was crazy because that was the first time anything like that had ever happened in the United States of America.
So we can't give too much away, but...
I don't want to give anything away, but man, them people where they moved that community to weren't too chilly red hot about the whole idea.
They tore up the whole community apart, really.
Well, they just tried to take over the state.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to give it away.
It's interesting.
But I highly recommend it.
Yes.
And man, them people were into some weird stuff. I mean, man, some weird shit. There's
one very awkward scene. I think it was in the second episode that we both kind of turned our head and were like, what the...
Yeah, this is a little different. But they didn't go down that rabbit hole, and they got back to the task at hand. And one of the real interesting characters was his right-hand person was Sheila. And, man, but she basically was...
She ran the show.
She ran the show, and she was different.
And we can't figure why these people followed this guru.
But they didn't just follow him. They gave him all their money.
Yeah.
Because these weren't just a bunch of hippie folks. A lot of them had dough.
Right.
Because this one couple says they give the dude a couple $100,000.
And he's driving Rolls Royces around.
Yeah, I got to give him props. I mean, at least for having like 16 or 18 Rolls Royces. Now, you'd think you might want to diversify, get a Bentley, a Mercedes, something else. Dude had like 16 or 18 Rolls Royces.
Yeah.
So that's some dough right there. But anyway, that's a good thing that I would recommend in watching. But I want to jump off, Kristin, on pet peeves because I was coming home the other day, and I'm listening right now to this god dang dog yapping next door. And I'm sure my microphone probably ain't picking it up because I'm talking kind of loud. And Moolah just came over. But this damn dog next door.
It's a small, yappy dog.
Man,
and they leave it outside.
Well, even when they take it inside, the sumbitch is barking.
He's got the loudest voice.
Right now, it's bothering me here. It's bothering when we go home next door, a whole house away. And it's like, how do the people put up with that shit?
I don't know. Because I can't stand it when Callie barks in the house.
Oh, tomorrow, and I've been meaning to do this the other day. This past weekend, it was like Good Friday, and then Saturday got away from me. And then it was Easter.
I went to Best Buy, and they were closed.
Went to Best Buy to get me a Gimmick speaker because I'm fixing to crank the jams up over here. I'm going to leave it at that, okay? And Best Buy was closed on Sunday, on Easter Sunday. I get it. It's a national chain. It's a religious holiday. You close down. Everybody's closed down for Easter. But when I want a Gimmick speaker, god dang, I want it now. And I couldn't get it now, which was then.
Yeah.
But now I need it now.
Now you need
to
it.
Crank it up so I can drown out that pesky little vermin dog over there. I mean, it's really bothering me, Chris.
It is the loudest dog I've ever heard. It's got the loudest voice, and it never stops.
It's driving me to drinking. At least that's my excuse.
But what's worse is the guy in the back alley sanding his van in prep of painting it.
I'm all about a do-it-yourself project. We heard this god-awful noise coming right behind the alley in our house. And then all the houses or all the neighborhoods in Los Angeles, there's an alley behind your friggin' house. So the neighbor back there, he's got this project. Well, it's not his van. It's his friend's van. And the summit's been parked over for a long time. I didn't know what the noise was. It was just this loud-ass, obnoxious noise, and it would last for like 8 hours at a stretch.
Yeah.
And we're like, what in the flying F are they doing over there? Finally, after about a week of this, I was so perplexed because this is a dude that will get up. No, he ain't going to get up. He's already up at 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m., take his shop vac and just vacuum his entire car out.
For hours.
For hours.
Yeah.
It's the cleanest interior out of any car in Los Angeles. You could perform surgery in that car. So now they're out there and they're making all this noise. And I go back there, open the gate, and they're sanding on that bucket van back there. It's a black van, and they're sanding it down, and it's all rusted out. It's like a bucket of shit. And I'm surprised by the time they've been sanding on this thing so long. I'm surprised that there's not just a couple of seats and a chassis sitting there. They're just going to grind it to death. They're going to sand it to death. What color are they going to paint it? That's the $1 million question.
I can't wait to see.
And whenever and whatever color they paint it, I'm going to tell you right here on the podcast. But right now, it's really chapping my ass because you think there'd be some type of protocol, etiquette, or like heads up, or you know what?
Well, you try to be a good neighbor and you try to be quiet because you don't want to offend anybody. But here it's like you got the barking dog people, you got the van with the sander, you got the German shepherds across the street, we've got trash trucks, we got sirens, we got helicopters, we got people blasting their music, we got the kids across the street having frat parties every weekend, and we're like ready to pull our hair out.
And the damn sumbitch who rides that damn chopper back and forth in front of the house. He's only got like a 1 block radius. He rides this loud ass chopper, and it's right up and down in front of our damn house. And why?
I don't know.
Go ride that. I can't even cuss on a podcast as much as I want to anymore. Go ride that pile of shit somewhere else. I'm begging you. Or let me take it to the muffler shop and get a muffler put on it for you.
Well, I don't understand the idea behind having a loud motorcycle. What is that? I mean,
now, when you're on one and it's you making the noise, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
It's that exhaust note. It's the same as being in a badass car. So I can understand it when you're driving it. But when you because it's a participation thing and it's just the vibe.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole thing. It's a
It must be
thing.
A guy thing.
No, but the chicks dig it too. That ride, they dig it too. And I think it also, the rumor is it also helps in traffic because the traffic can hear you if you're in a blind spot.
Yeah.
That's kind of a rumor or wives' tale. I think it's true. But nonetheless,
that would make sense.
When you're making a noise, it don't bother you.
Right.
Like that dog, that barking don't bother him. That's what he does.
Of course not.
But it's bothering the shit out of me. I'm going to get that dog, put it in the backpack, ride that sumbitch around the goddamn block on a chopper without the muffler on it. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a dose of their own medicine. I'm gonna get my payback. Another thing that gets on my nerves is I was coming home the other day this way on Washington Boulevard, and here comes ambulance, sirens blazing, lights spinning, blue, red, white, emergency, emergency. We're going to save somebody's ass. Everybody pull off the road so we can come through. Well, there's a red light right there. Callie, shut up. I'm right in the middle of telling an impending and really important story. Here comes cars making a left-hand turn, going right in front of the ambulance. And the ambulance has to slow down, swerve to the right to avoid T-boning the car that was too stupid or too caught up in his own system or sending text messages.
Well, people don't pull over in L.A. I don't know what the deal is.
No, because they're scared they're going to lose their place in line because there's so much goddamn traffic.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So anyway, the ambulance almost T-bones the car. And if the ambulance would have T-boned the car, they'd have had to call 2 ambulances. One to continue the original mission, and then one to attend to the ambulance that just got T-boned because the dude ran a red light. I don't know, man. And another thing that bothers me, while I'm on things that bother me, is I was sitting there in traffic once again the other day in Los Angeles traffic at a stoplight, and this is like, you were with me.
Well, we have a real quality of life here in L.A.
Oh, yeah, that's why I believe me, when I get back from a WrestleMania, WrestleCon in New Orleans on the 7th and 8th, I'm telling you, we're going to Nevada.
Yeah.
But we have about a week of activities before that. We're going to take care of business, but then we're going to Nevada. Because when we're out there, it ain't nothing but horses
it's quiet.
in the front yard, rolling around, chasing each other, pulling shenanigans, and cows mooing.
Yeah.
Heaven. Back to my little pet peeve section here. I know I've said it before, but you and me was in the same car riding down the road the other day, and we pulled up behind
Let me guess.
Toyota
Prius.
And what was the Toyota Prius driver doing while trying to be green and drive a hybrid and protect our ozone layer, Kristin?
Smoking a cigarette.
Smoking a big fat ass cigarette, hanging out the side of the window. The damn things, those cars are kind of low down. This dude must have been about 6'7". The cigarette was almost on the ground. Either that or he lowered the Prius, and you don't see that too often, a low-rider Prius. And I'm sitting there thinking as the smoke was just billowing off this thing. And it don't even get me started on them vaporizer people or whatever, when they blow them. What's that smoke?
Like a cloud comes out.
What's that
E-cigarette?
thing called?
Maybe e-cigarette? I don't know.
No, ain't no e-cig. Whatever the hell it is, you know those people that make all the smoke.
The vapors.
The vapors. They actually have contests to see who can make the most smoke. Oh, yeah. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. But anyway, this dude had a cigarette. And you and me are jawing back and forth about it.
Right.
Well, if the sumbitch is trying to be so green to protect the environment, why has he got a damn cigarette?
And then the topper is...
The coup de grace. Go ahead.
He drops the cigarette onto the street.
He dropped the cigarette on the mean streets of Los Angeles, California. And as a resident right now of the city of Los Angeles, it offended me.
That really bothers me when people do that.
People litter. There's one thing, back in the day, when you're a kid and you do stupid shit, you throw a bottle on the side of the road.
Right, yeah.
But not as an adult, not in 2018.
No.
In 75 or 80, you could do it, and it didn't bother you so bad. But now you get some wherewithal and some. You want to take care of the earth.
Of
the
course.
dude's driving a Prius, he's smoking a cigarette, and then he's got a shit can in his cigarette. Does a Toyota Prius not have an ashtray?
They may not, because maybe they don't think Prius drivers would be smoking cigarettes since they bought the car to help with the environment.
Oh, here's something stupid. Back in the day when I first met you, I was driving a Porsche Cayenne Turbo, remember?
Yep.
And I got the non-smokers package.
Right.
Which means simply they don't put any cigarette lighters or an ashtray in it. So the problem with that is, where do you plug in your radar detector, your phone charger, all that bullshit? You talk about outworking themselves. So surely, going back to the Prius, not to segue on the fact that they didn't have anything to plug an electronic device into.
Well, nobody uses a radar detector in Los Angeles.
Well, you got to plug in a cell phone.
Okay.
Back to the Prius. If you're a smoker, do the right thing. Have a little, it's like having a spit cup.
Yeah.
Have a cup with some water in there with something damp down there so you can drop your cigarette in here. Don't just throw so much on the side of the road. Nothing bothers me more than that.
I know. Well, that's my biggest pet peeve.
Well, I'll tell you what else bothers me. We was going to the store. I opened the door for you. Here comes some dude behind me. There's a dude, but, I held the door open for him. Dude just walked in like I was invisible. I wear camouflage all the time, but I'm pretty sure that, it wasn't like a John Cena. You can't see me. I weigh 255 pounds. I just held a door before your ass. You would think, now I wasn't asking for him to thank me, but as something, that is like etiquette, manners, protocol, someone holds the door open for me, a lady even, when you're in close proximity. A lady held the door open for me a couple of days ago. Thank you. I held the door for a lady the other day. She said, thank you. The dude comes by and say shit. Well, just say thank you. I'm not there to open the door for you. I'm not a doorman. I'm just trying to show you and express some. I could be.
Yeah, you could be.
I'm good at opening doors.
Yeah.
But if somebody does a random act of kindness for you, which is few and far between in today's day and age.
You would think they would say thank you.
Well, is it that hard to say?
Or give a nod.
Something.
Or like, I always think, if people let them cross the street, all they have to do is nod and say thank you, or, like a physical, something to show you that they're grateful that you actually waited and let them cross the street.
Yeah, but here's another thing. Here's how far a lot of people have their head up their asses. Is like you was taking your mom out to lunch of the day in Thousand Oaks, y'all sitting at the restaurant. I won't drop the name of the restaurant.
But my mom noticed this, which I thought was interesting because she doesn't notice a lot of stuff.
So what happened? Y'all was in a booth.
So the guy brings the food to the guy next to us, who, first of all, it's a busy restaurant at lunch, and people that take up booths are usually groups of people. This was a single guy. He took up a whole booth, put his legs stretched out, was texting. The guy brings his food to his table, does not even look up to say thank you or acknowledge his presence, continues to do whatever he was doing. Then the guy comes to pick up his plate when he finished. Can I get your plate, sir? Yes. Takes his plate, the guy doesn't say thank you, nothing. I'm like, my goodness. I mean, first of all, you're taking up a booth that these families could be sitting out, and then secondly, you don't even acknowledge the server's presence. So that kind of irked me. Well,
I mean, yeah, just give him a hey, man.
Give him a nod.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, I'm not going to blow smoke up our ass.
Yeah.
But, I'm very leery about stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's like people.
Well, I think we get irritated with everything, though.
Well, we do, but people got their heads so far up our ass. It's like, that the famous corner that we live right at, and it's a busy intersection. And every time when you're in the left-hand turn lane, and we're watching the people turn left, and 9 out of 10 of those people have got their eyes down on their iPhone or they're actively texting.
Yeah.
And if they have a shotgun passenger, 100% of the time they're on their smartphone.
Why do they ever call it shotgun?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer to.
Maybe your listeners know.
Oh, but everybody knows what a shotgun is.
Yeah.
But that person, someone was telling me the other day, and I know they were ribbing me, but it's almost going to be like the human, how everything kind of evolves.
Right.
Like humans continue to evolve, like from the Cro-Mags, Neanderthal, now here we are, unless you believe something else. We've evolved to this state, but now, and they went from being kind of hunched over to more upright. And now we're going to get these big ass eyes because our eyes are only used to looking at a goddamn smartphone, this device that we just glued to because we got to have that instant gratification.
That's
see what's up.
Yeah.
And like be texting with somebody or posting something on Facebook, just like somebody I know. Hey, we're at a restaurant. Give the name of the restaurant. Oh, I don't give a shit where you're at.
Well, you're not on Facebook, so.
Well, there's Jim Florentine's book. Everybody is awful except you. Talks a lot about that bullshit.
Okay.
Half the stuff in that book really chaps my ass. But anyway, enough about all that. I don't just sit here and just beat a dead horse and just go on and on about things that piss me off. But man, one of the things that was kind of piqued my interest and my curiosity was about last weekend, I think it was, or the weekend before that, you get this call from your mother and someone has infiltrated her bank account or some suspicious activity going on or what's up. And then she don't remember her password or nothing.
I know.
You're doing all this research. QVC pops up. What the F happened?
I was able to log into her banking information to discover there were 16 QVC purchases and 7 Home Shopping Club purchases.
Whoa, 16 what?
I don't know. I said, what did you buy 16 of?
Like Mitch Hedberg would say, rice is great when you want 2,000 or something. So what does your mother need of 16?
Apparently, after doing a lot of research, she bought a diamond bracelet but not really diamonds. And they break it up into 16 easy payments of $3.20.
That's a little bit over $50.
Yeah.
16 easy payments.
16 easy payments of $3. So they talked her into buying this bracelet that she did not need because they were just going to charge her $3.20 16 times.
And here's the thing about every time, the times when I go with you to check on your mother and say hi, every single time we walk in there, she's got it on QVC or the Home
and it's
Shopping
blaring.
Network or whatever. And it's loud.
Loud. But then we get roped into it because we're like, look at what these people are buying.
No, but then they throw that damn desperation thing. Hey, man, like 16 left, and they're going fast. And then, and like then so-and-so's comment about, they just bought one, and they love it.
Yeah.
And so it's like.
And then they get the people calling in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a little chatty back and forth conversation.
Yeah.
Everything's hunky-dory. And I was like, I got to have one. I got to have one. And your mother's got to have one of everything.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know, but it's almost like.
They're brainwashing people into buying stuff.
You talk about salespeople.
Yeah. They're one hell of a sales group because she
it's
buys.
Almost like stretching it a little bit. I'm ribbing on the square, but they know what they're doing.
16 easy payments of $3.20.
But was she always like it?
She's always like.
But you came from a very middle class family,
yeah.
and then hard times for a while. It wasn't like y'all had money to go buy a bunch of bullshit. She doesn't get out of the house, except if I go over there and, once a week and take her out to do stuff. She doesn't get out. So she misses the shopping aspect. So her connection now is QVC. But, and on the other side of that, when you take her grocery shopping, and when she was still driving.
Oh, as soon as we get to the grocery store, if I lose her, I know exactly where to find her.
Where are you going to find her?
Manager special.
And the thing about it is, she get all these things at the manager special that she don't even need.
She puts them in her freezer.
But because it's a manager special,
she buys it.
Feels like she's getting a good deal. She buys it.
Yeah, so I go in there, I throw them all out, and she does it the same thing again the next week.
Oh, I know. And it's one of those things, and I'll be there on that particular time. And when Kristin starts raiding the freezer, I'm just like, I'm waiting for her mom to freak out. And it's kind of like I'm like distracting her a little bit or keeping her occupied. But she knows what's up.
She bought this thing the other day. It was manager special, and it said salmon something, but it wasn't really a real piece of salmon. It was like a strange sale item, and it was only like $1.99. So I'm thinking it's probably made for cats. So I threw it out. And I called her later that day. She said, I'm looking for that salmon I bought the other day. It looked like a really good fillet. I'm like, Mom, you don't even cook. Sure enough, she was livid that I threw that whatever piece of salmon away. So I had to go buy her another piece of salmon and make it for her the next time I went over there.
But how does it happen when she orders that bag of
pot stickers?
But it's a gimmick number of pot stickers.
It was 91 pot stickers.
Where did they pull 91 out of?
I have no idea.
Why not 100? Why not 90, 80, anything?
Why even number?
91?
I don't know. Maybe they threw one in for good luck.
But 91 pot stickers.
Yeah.
Does she eat them?
No. I gave those to the neighbor. And today when I got there, there was 4 new items in her freezer that I had not purchased for her. So she snuck out and took Dial-A-Ride over there. And so there was a turkey burger with stuffed blue cheese inside. That was in the frozen. She already put it in the freezer. She buys everything, puts it in the freezer. There were these, they look like really old shrimp. Those were in the freezer. Another piece of salmon and some sort of strange looking bread item. So of course I snuck those into a little bag and went out to the garbage and put them in there. She has no idea they're not even there anymore. So because I get her frozen meals anyway, and she gets Meals on Wheels.
But every now and then when she comes over to stay for a couple of days, and she'll bring us a couple of items that she got off QVC or whatever it's called.
We got the shiatsu foot massage thing there the other day, remember, for Christmas?
Yeah.
It's still in the closet. And then she bought some sort of other massage thing for me.
Are you going to use it?
I might.
Are we going to have a garage sale?
No, but I was thinking maybe I'll combine that with my CBD lotion.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
When are you going back to the dope shop?
I need to go to I'm going to try a new one. I want to go to the one with the valet. Just so I can say I valeted at the dope shop.
You're just going to hang around there and keep smelling all the air so you get a little contact high?
Yeah. It's my new spot. I don't have to buy anything. I'll just keep going to all the new ones so I get the 20% off discount for first-time customers.
All right. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this podcast up. I appreciate you helping me out.
I tried.
I damn near wish you was going to New Orleans with me. You want to go?
I would have liked to gone, actually, because I really enjoyed New Orleans when we went there together, but I've got to take care of 2 special girls.
Man, I tell you what, people always ask me, because we were going somewhere. I was doing a project the other day, and they said, is your wife coming out? I looked at them. I said, is my wife coming out? What do you mean?
Well, it's your job. You go to work. I
know, but that's exactly what I told him. I said, no, man. I said, my wife and I have been together 14 years. And we've been married 9. I said, man, when I go to work, my wife, I mean, like if I'm filming something every now and you'll come on my days off just so you can enjoy Mexico or Georgia or whatever. Yeah. But you don't go to work with me.
No.
I said, no, man. I mean, she knows I'm busy and it's work. I said, like when she was teaching special ed, I went and read to your kids one day, but
I didn't go. What's that? I didn't expect you to come to work with me.
Yeah, I'm over in the corner while you're over teaching, eating that bologna sandwich, distracting the kids. Hey, dude, you want a sandwich? But it's like, no.
But you'll be working, and you're going to be real busy. So.
Oh man, I'm going to be.
And then when you get around your wrestling pals, it's like another language, and I don't understand it.
Man, and that's so fun. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I was talking to, I think I mentioned it on the open of the show, I was talking to Bill Watts on the phone, and I might be able to get a podcast in with him if his schedule is cool. We're gonna try to do one. But that was my favorite territory to grow up watching, and it's funny because all these years later, Kristin and I have been together 14 years, and then when one of her special ed students had brought the WWF calendar to her class, and then she turned it, and that was my month, and we ended up being married after all these years.
All these years.
Thanks to one of your wonderful students who brought the damn WWF calendar together.
Absolutely.
And I'm going back to a wrestling function. I'm looking forward to it. It is a different language, though. But that's one thing, because you speak a lot of the wrestlers speak that, well, we just have our certain words.
Right.
We don't speak carny to each other, and I don't really...
But I'm learning all the terms. You should have a... Actually...
Yeah, but you say gimmick. And
yeah, I like gimmick.
Yeah. So, other than that, it's not like we're calling high spots to each other.
I don't use that word.
No, but anyway. Well, Hill, I'm going to ride off in the sunset and then get my workout in. Shit, I've been so busy. I've been trying to get caught up to my workouts. I got a project coming up I'm looking forward to. Thanks for joining me on the show. I might be doing a breakdown of WrestleMania 34. Hopefully it's a great event, and I hope everybody has a real good time and performs to the utmost of their ability. Hopefully the crowd inside the Superdome, or is it the Silverdome, as Hulk Hogan would say, hopefully the crowd is on fire and they're ready to see a good night. It's going to be a long day because of all the pre-Mania stuff going on, but man, they're giving you bang for your buck. It's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to seeing the match between Stephanie and Triple H and Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. And I'm looking forward to seeing the championship match and AJ and Nakamura and a bunch of other stuff. It's going to be a loaded show. And hopefully the WWE and the guys and gals crank it up and knock a grand slam. Coming back to close the show. Thanks to my wife for joining me here on the Steve Austin Show. All right, everybody, give me the go-home cue. It's time to wrap up this podcast and ride off in the sunset. Before I do that, I want to thank my illustrious wife, Kristin, for joining me here on the podcast. Kristin, it was great talking to you, and I'll be eating dinner with her here in a few minutes. Anyway, hey, man, one more time, I will be in New Orleans, Louisiana on April 7th and 8th. That's Saturday and Sunday. Coming up this weekend, I'll be at the Sheraton signing autographs and taking pictures for WrestleCon. These will probably be the only 2 appearances I make for the next few years. So I just don't do these things too often. I love New Orleans. I'm looking forward to getting down there and eating me some Cajun food and watching the show afterwards. And a shout out to all the WWE superstars who will be performing on Sunday night. Hey, man, good luck to everybody. Y'all go out there and rip it up and have a damn good time. ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin has all my Broken Skull Ranch stuff, and you can catch it right there where I just told you to go. If you're thirsty, I got a damn good IPA. It's called Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo Brewing Company. You can find it in California at Whole Foods and Total Wines, and if you don't live in Cali, check InsideTheCellar.com and see if they got any, first of all, and see if they ship to your state. And if you're looking for a badass pocket knife, which I will be taking mine to WrestleCon in New Orleans, Louisiana, check out the Cold Steel Broken Skull knife or the Cold Steel Working Man's knife, and you can get them at my new Amazon store. Amazon has the best price on both knives. Just go to Amazon.com/shop/Steve Austin. And I want to say one more thank you to all the fine sponsors of the Steve Austin Show. That's how I'm able to do this podcast for you twice a week for free. And you can find all my sponsors at PodcastOne.com. Just click on the Killer Deals button at the top of the page and then click on the Steve Austin Show banner. Folks, I am on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, and my handle is at Steve Austin BSR. Folks, until next time, my name is Steve Austin, and I will catch your ass down the road.
This has been a Podcast One production. Download new episodes of The Steve Austin Show every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
Hello, and welcome to Pluto Phone. If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, just stream it for free on Pluto TV, where all your blockbuster favorites are landing all summer long. Catch Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Fantastic.
The Matrix Trilogy.
Welcome to the real world.
Mean Girls.
Shut up.
Titanic.
I'm the king of the world.
And so much more. For showtimes, press nothing. They're free 24/7.
That is so fetch.
On Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
What if the stories of gods, angels, and ancient technology weren't myths, but memories of alien contact? On Ancient Aliens, we investigate the evidence, from mysterious ruins to strange celestial alignments, asking bold questions about humanity's origins. Could visitors from the stars have influenced our greatest civilizations? Journey into the unknown and challenge what you think you know about history in episodes like Secrets of the Sumerians, Mysteries of the Maya, or The Chosen. We are not alone. Download Ancient Aliens every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts.